Hello guys. So I'm gonna be continuing the Java algorithms playlist. I don't know if you can call it a playlist or you can call it a course, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna continue it because there's a lot of stuff that I haven't showed, and I really want to show you guys because. So my plan here is that I want to post every single thing that I see in my CS degree. That way you guys can have at least some sort of idea of what I learned in school, and you can learn it for free. Granted, you're learning this from me, and it may not be the best source, but hey, at least like it's free. So I don't know. You can do whatever you want with it. Because it's free, there's nothing to lose. So what you see right here, this is my code from Lat 5, and I haven't opened this like in a good 3 months maybe. And this is a new project that I'm going to create. So this is my Lat 5 folder in IntelliJ from school. So we're gonna call this Lat 5 YouTube video, and the way you do it, you just go here, file, create new. Okay, so for those of you guys who haven't used IntelliJ, by the way, in order to get IntelliJ, just go to Google, type IntelliJ, get the community program, which is free, and that's it. Very simple. Once you are in IntelliJ, you click file, new project. You don't click anything because you want to do a Java. You don't want Groovy, you don't want Kotlin, and you don't want Kotlin.js or any of this. So create project from a template, and we want a command line app. Next. And so now back where we were. And I know for you, like for some of you guys, this may be like very intuitive, but some people out there just don't know what to do. So that's why I always try to keep it slow and simple so other people can follow. Okay, so by the way, I bought this camera right here, which is a Logitech. I believe it's the C97. I'm not sure, but yeah, just so you guys can know how do I look. I know you don't feel weird but just looking at the screen, and you don't know like the face behind all this video, so now you can put a face. Well, if you were curious enough and watched the other videos, well, you know how I look. But now for sure you know how I look, which is awesome. Now moving on. So what we're gonna do in this lab, by the way, if you see these glasses right here, this is called spectacle, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the screen. Watch this if you can on 1080p, because I'm uploading these videos 1080p watchable, or they're available in 1080p, that's what I mean. So try to watch them in 1080p, that way you get like the best resolution, because by default you may have them at 360p, but I'm uploading them so you can watch them on 1080p, so please do so. And I made this really big compared to the previous videos, that way at least you're able to see the letters a little bit easier. I also was using the white theme on the editor environment, so now I'm using like the dark mode, that way it's also easier for you guys to follow along, because I just figured out that it's a little bit harder to follow if it's white. So please do comment. Haven't had any comments so far. I don't know, just comment like just say I like it, I don't like it, do this, do that, oh I would like you to do this, whatever. Just comment so I can get, I don't know, some feedback. I want to hear your thoughts. Whoever stumbles upon this video, please comment. Alright, so my lab, this is my code that I did for school, and so I'm not just doing this in order for you guys to be able to see. I'm dividing the, by the way, all this I'm doing it with Spectacle. I love Spectacle because it works kind of like the Windows button on Windows software, so you can like move screens from one side to the other, and I'm using two monitors. Obviously, you can see just the one that you're seeing here, right? All that screen. But I have two monitor. I have like one other monitor and my own laptop, so I have in total 3 screens that I can move my apps around, and Spectacle is really useful, so use that. And okay, so here we're going to be making a use of binary search. So I already have a video on binary search, right? It's very simple doing binary search. So why the hell would you want to see this video? Well, this video is very important because we're not only going to see binary search. There's a lot that goes behind binary search, different uses, and on this lab particularly, here you see capacity, storage, and number of items. Now the number of items, it refers to the array. So you're like in the constructor, you're creating an array of double data elements called storage. Then you're creating like a property called capacity, which is an int value, and you're creating like the number of elements within this double array, which is also like it's an int, right? Because you cannot have like 0.5 elements in an array. Either you have like 1 or 2. You cannot have like 1.5, right? Anyway, moving on. You cannot see the whole screen. How come? That is not good. That is a little bit annoying. Oh, no, never mind. It's just me having a really big font. Because you guys don't know, but I have this at 24 or 22 so you can see it. But I normally code at 14 because it's just for myself. So yeah, that's why it's getting cut. Okay, so yeah. So as you can see, it says initial values, possible values of the array they can contain. That's the capacity. And the number of items holds the actual length of the initial values of the elements in the list, referring to this specifically, right? So here I'm just declaring the type of properties. Here I'm doing the constructor. So every time we construct an object of a binary search set, which is this one, we're gonna create the object with a capacity as a default of 6, with a storage like like the possible values are gonna be 6, but the actual data on it for now it's going to be like 0. Therefore, the number of items are also gonna be 0, right? And okay, so let's minimize this for a little bit, and I'm going to show you how you can do this in your project. So here you're going to you can do command new. You're going to create a Java class, and here I believe my class is called binary search set. So binary search set. So it's been a while since I've coded in Java, like just pure Java. I've been doing Android, but not like just pure Java. So I don't know. I feel that it sounds weird because for me, I've been doing Android so much, it's a little bit more straightforward. Like, granted, the problems that you tackle with Android are a little bit harder, but I don't know. I just feel more comfortable in that environment. And there's so many tutorials on Android that I can just follow along. But yeah, anyway, so we're gonna start declaring the properties. Public double storage, public, and we're gonna call this capacity, and public, and we're gonna call this num items. By the way, if you guys are wondering if you should use this or IntelliJ, feel free to use either, but I feel that this has like a better UX UI. So I'm using a Mac, so when you press Command and when you're here, oh, by the way, this change you did with command 1. So here you're in command 1, and then to go back to the file, you do command 2. So that's like something really quick. Oh, this is command 1 and command 1. So I really like that, and that you don't, well, there's probably some sort of shortcuts. It's just that I like this better. But yeah, by the way, I'm gonna be rambling a lot on this video because I'm not only gonna be doing it about algorithms, I'm also gonna be talking a little bit of where I'm at right now, being like try to solve this. So just have some patience. I don't know. Probably would have been good for me to do like a live stream, but since I don't even have enough people subscribed, I'm sure the live stream would have been, I don't know, not as fun. But that would be cool. I would like to like get to a point where I can have a live stream, because I don't know, I would really like to hear what people have to say. So here we have our constructor. Now here you can see that it's kind of like highlighted, and here it's not. That's because this is there's been an object constructed on our main file. So if I go back to our main file in this lab, which is already done, here you can see like a lot of constructions. So here's constructed binary search. That's the type of object, that's the name of the object, and here you're declaring it to create it, right? And so that's where it gets highlighted. And then these are all like methods of this object, right? So you just like added, printed, then you have this array, then you try to see if it contains certain number or whatever. Yeah, moving on. Moving on. So okay, we have the constructor. So now we have a bunch of methods. We want is empty. So what is empty? So is empty is going to check if the object which holds, or which represents kind of like a database, but in this case it's just like an array. If the array is empty, and by empty meaning like, because right now when you construct it, it's not really empty because it contains values of 0, but it's not initialized. So that's what this method is trying to check. It's checking if it's whether initialized or not. So public boolean is empty if num items, which is this property from the object, equals 0. If it equals 0, it means that it has not been initialized. Therefore, it's empty, it's true. Otherwise, return false. And you can put an else here, but it's really redundant because it will only return true if this condition is true. Otherwise, it will always be false. Therefore, there's no need for the if or else. But yeah, you can write it however you want. There's some people also that write if statements like this. And that's also a valid way to write it. I don't like it because I think it can be a little bit confusing for people that are not very well versed with Java. So I like to be as explicit as I can. So I just leave it like this. Now, this is another method, really easy. So public and size. So return the number of items. Now you may be thinking like, Arturo, this is like very stupid, very easy. I don't see the point of this at all. Why are we doing this? Oh, and this actually has to go here because it's not part of that method. Wait, and I'm missing. Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this so you guys can see more real estate of what's happening here. So so you may be thinking, hey, why are we gonna use this? Well, this is kind of like simulating a database, right? So right now you're just dealing with an array, but that's what a database is. It's a collection of elements within an array, but the array is like just not like we call it one-dimensional array, which is like a line, because it only has length. Data has 2 dimensions, which is length and width, or sorry, well, however you want to say it. Like you have rows and then you have columns, right? So that way you create 2-dimensional arrays, and so this, like right now we're just gonna handle 1-dimensional arrays because we don't want to complicate things, but just think about this. This is why this is useful, in case you're just wondering, like, why are we doing this? So as we're dealing with a database, something that's very important, so growing the database. Why would you want to grow a database? Well, it's very simple. So if you're inserting data, you gotta increase the capacity of your array, hence capacity. So what do you want to grow? You want to grow the amount of capacity that your array can hold, right? I think it's very self-explanatory, I guess, or if it's not, don't worry, but I hope like with this explanation it's a little bit more clear. So what am I doing here? So double and temp. This temp as temporary. So what are we going to do? We're creating a new array of that holds not numbers or data of double behavior or double specification. Now we're copying this from the capacity property and we're just multiplying it by 2. This means our new temporary array is going to be twice as big as our capacity. That means it's going to be, if as default is 6, then now it's going to be 12. So that's what we're doing. So here we're just doing a for loop. So storage.length plus temp I equals storage.I. Now I think this is pretty simple, but I'm gonna explain it either way. So now what we're doing, so storage is the, how can I explain it? So okay, storage is what it's actually stored, right? Capacity is the number of values that the array can have, but it's not the actual values that I have. And number of items is the actual values that are initialized. So so this is like the actual array object. This is how many it could be stored, but this is the actual numbers that are stored. So this could be 12 as it would if we would call this method, but it can only have say 4 numbers initialized. and I'm gonna show you this in a bit. I'm actually gonna try to do it ASAP so you guys can graphically see this. So, and I think I'm gonna like stop going through the methods here so you guys can see what is going on. So grow, and so now that we copy it, then we want to how to say initialize, I guess. No, we want to reassign, that's the word. We want to reassign the stars to the temp value. Yeah. Excuse me for my lack of words. English is not my first language, so sometimes I struggle to find like the appropriate wording, because I feel it's very important to have like the correct wording, because sometimes if you don't say exactly what you need to say, not even what you want but what you need, people can get the wrong message, and not even I don't even mean this as like people getting offended, but people just don't understand what you're trying to say. So excuse me if I take my time to find the right words. So here, that's what we have, total blank, test for assignments. Let's just create the object from now. So binary search set, this is pulling this out from our class. So we're gonna write data set, right? Because we were talking about data. So new binary search set, and we're declaring this to create it. So now we want to, let's see, what methods do we have? We have is it empty, we want the size, and we want to grow it. What else? Oh, we want to add. So yeah, we may want to add that method. To string, yeah, we may want to do this method so you guys can see it. Remove what it contains all, sequential add, binary add. Oof. Let's just start with this, because it's already 22 minutes. Damn, time fly by, huh? Yeah, I'm just gonna like do this for now, and then probably going to upload another video where I can continue explaining this. Okay. So yeah, print to string. That's the next method that we're gonna do. Yeah, so I guess I barely talked about myself. So this is very self-explanatory. Let's read the comments. So pass every value of the array into a temporary string list and print the double array, the capacity and the storage. Here I was missing storage. Yeah, so now that you read, because I'm not gonna be writing the comments, because I just want you guys to be up to speed with where I'm at. So right now I'm studying computer science. As I said before, I'm an econ and finance major, so I have already graduated from college. So you may say this dude, it's crazy. He's crazy because he's literally doing 3 majors and so many people are in debt. Well, little you know, I'm an international student, which makes things more difficult for me in order to stay here in the US. So, long story short, I went to a boot camp, I got a job, I was gonna get sponsored, but I couldn't because my degree was finance and economics and not computer science or software engineering. or computer engineer for that matter. And my lawyer told me that the only thing that I could do was to either get a new degree, get a master's, related to software engineering or computer science, and or do economics and finance. But to be honest, like, guys, it's almost 12. I should be going to sleep real soon, but I just love coding. I'm doing this because I really like it. So I found my vocation and I want to do this. So here I am getting my third degree in computer science. The good thing though is that I'm going to do it in 2 years, because a lot of the classes that I took, like all the bullshit classes, they're going to be revalidated, so it's not that bad. I do have to take math, a lot of math, because there's a lot of classes from my math minor, because I have to have a math minor as a computer science major. So there's a lot of math that I haven't done, and now I'm doing it. But I like math. I don't love it, not as I love coding. But yeah. So yeah, I'm through my second semester. Now I'm left with 2 more semesters, and then I'm done. So yeah, it's not that bad. A little bit of a hiccup when it comes to life plans and life timelines, but nah, who cares? So yeah, let's try this. We created this. Now if we do what I have right here, we should see an array of 6 double data elements with the values of 0. Why? Because they're not initialized. So we're going to do dataset dot toString. Now this is an escape character signaling that I want to print this in a new line. So let's run this. And here we have our array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we created a method called grow. Now what this is going to do is that this is going to grow the array by 2. So we would just copy paste this, no need to type it, and we can run it again, which you can do with Control R in Mac. I don't know in Windows. Oh, and by the way, you can see like the capacity is 6, but the size is 0, because even though you can see these elements, these are not initialized. Same here. So now this should say capacity 12, size 0, just as I explained. Now I actually want to show you guys how to add values. So I'm gonna do it right below string. So let's just go. Let's see what method is a little bit smaller. Sequential add. So 6, 3, 4. Binary add. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess sequential add is easier. So what is sequential add and binary add doing? So I'm just gonna explain you this quickly before I start writing. First, I'm gonna do sequential add. So sequential add, what it's doing is it's going by sequence. It's like basically checking element by element to compare whether what you want to insert is bigger or smaller. And that's not efficient, because if you have a database of say 1,000 elements, if you start in the element 1 and you're trying to insert an 800 and whatever, that's not going to be efficient. Now granted, you may have a database where the actual value of the data may be like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way to like the the 800th value. So even if you think like, oh well, you wanna like insert the like an 833, well, you just go to that to that index within the array. Well, you cannot do that because like let's just say that generally people have like, I don't know, one spouse. So I don't know, let's say that you have a database for an insurance company and they have to keep track of this. I don't know why, just a random example. So I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna have a spouse, and fine, you're not gonna be inserting 833, but let's say that you want to insert a, I don't know, you have a Mormon guy. I believe Mormons are allowed to marry like 2 or 3 wives. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just trying to give a random example. The fact though is that all the way to like the 700th element or value or person that is stored, they're still gonna have like one spouse. So when you want to insert somebody that has a 3, you're not gonna go to the 3rd index, you're gonna go all the way to the 700th, because you're gonna have to compare whether the 3 is bigger to the actual data inside of that index. So hopefully I'm explaining myself well. So yeah, sequential lag can be a little bit, as you can see, cumbersome, or not cumbersome, but not as efficient. So what you want to do with this algorithm, you kind of do a binary search adding. So what you do is that you insert a value, but applying the binary search algorithm, you go all the way into the middle of the array and you say like, okay, the value that I want to insert is a 3. Now, same example for the insurance company. Okay, what about the 500th index value? What is it? Oh, it's 1. Fine. So now you can get rid of 500 data values, and you can just go ahead and start from like half of the data, and then you go to the hassle 750. Now I said 700 on the previous example, that's where you were going to insert the value 3. So now you can see that at the 750, well, you already have, I don't know, say 5. So you get rid of 750 onwards, and you're just left with the 500th and the 750th, like all that range left. So now you're dealing with just 250 values, and you keep reducing it by half and half and half and half. So that's a very efficient algorithm, and that's why we're doing a binary add, and that's why here we're having a sequential add. So we're doing both in order so you can get the gist of why this is useful. And this is very useful in databases. Java is very good for backend and server coding. So let's get to it. Let's do this. So we're gonna do public boolean sequential add. Now the actual value that we're adding to the array, remember that our array holds double data values, so is empty. So first we want to check like our base case, right? By our base case I mean like the most basic case, or the easiest case. This means what was the easiest case? That it's not initialized, just as we have right here. So if we have an array that is not initialized, then we can just go ahead and insert it in the first place, right? Though that's not going to be the majority of the time, but for now, let's deal with this scenario first. So if this is empty, then the storage 0th index is going to equal the new value. We're going to assign the new value to the 0th index. Then num items, we're going to increase it by 1, which means that now we actually hold 1 value. And we're going to return true. Why do we want to return true? Because if this situation is met, if this condition is met, we want to exit out of this method, and we don't have to run all this that is left. That's why we do return true. I know that for some of you guys this is trivial. For those of you that is not, well, that's why I'm explaining it. So, you know, just want to make sure that some of you are not like left with gaps. Now, int 0 int I equals 0. So you're gonna see why I is useful. Here we declare it, but there's a reason why we declare it up there and not within the loop, which I don't remember for now, but it'll come to me, I'm sure. So storage chat equals new value. Return false. So what are we doing here? Here what I'm doing is I think I can declare it here. I'm just gonna declare it here and see what happens. So basically what we're doing here, we're just like comparing each value against the array of objects that we have. And if the new value that we want to, this value that we put in our method, we want to insert it into our array. And we see that within the array, the value equals a pre-existing value, then we don't have to insert it anymore. So we're just gonna skip it. So yeah, fine, it may not apply to the example that I was explaining, but you get the gist. Like for this, you know, I don't know, maybe like what's unique, an ID. So two users cannot have the same ID, therefore you want to make sure that the ID that you're about to create is not already existing. I don't know, just trying to get an example of why we're doing this check. Storage new val. So this means that if the value that you are about to insert is less than the storage, then you want to break out of the loop, meaning that you have reached to the point where you want to insert the new value, because this is bigger, therefore you know that this has to go before the storage value. So say that our array is 2.1, 2.4, 5.5, 8. Yeah. Alright, a little bit more legible, I hope. Right? Let's say that is our array of doubles, our doubles array. And we want to insert a 4.3. So we're comparing, so this is bigger than this. Yes, true. So continue. Is a 4.3 bigger than 0.5? Yes, continue. Is a 4.3 bigger than 5.5? No. So break. And that's what we're doing here. So now that we have this, we break out of this loop. Now that we break, then we want to make sure there is enough space. So what does that mean? It means that if I want to insert like the 4.3, but say that instead of this we have like 4. You know, those are still doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have 6. The capacity is 6 already. So if we insert this is not going to go into this object because it's already at its max capacity. So first you have to increase it, right? Or we can also have this scenario where this is just not initialized, meaning that there's an empty spot where this can fit in. So we just need to check for these two scenarios. So if capacity equals number of items, means that it's at its full capacity or max capacity. Therefore, we want to call the grow method. So if we grow it, we are now going to have the capacity available to add it. So now move everything that's greater to new val to the right, So let me explain myself. So now that we have this and we're making the break right at the 5, so now what we want to do is move this 5, this 6, this 3, this, well, if there was something here, let's put 1,000. We want to move this to the right because now we just made like a 12 array, right? And if we want to insert it, we want to be able to keep the previous data and insert the new data without messing the previous data. I hope that makes sense. So the way that you do it is that once that you grow it, then you're gonna move it. We haven't inserted anything yet, but we'll do once we move all the pre-existing data. And basically we just want to set up our array before we insert anything. That's it. That's just what we're doing right here. So then we want to do j is equal to I. I'll explain right now what is happening right here. I just want to like finish the for loop before I explain. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. It's only 2 lines without counting the return true, which I'm sure that you guys know what return true does. And now I know that why I declared it. Okay, so I believe that I declared the I up there. That way this loop can access the I value here. Because if this is accessible, then now, yeah, that's why. I knew it was gonna come to me. So now items. Yeah, so if you didn't understand, just get rid of this, right? Just do like declare the integer here of I. This for loop and the storage now, they don't have access because it's out of the scope. And basically, if you guys haven't seen scope, yeah, this video is getting way too long in order for me to explain scope. It's already 43 minutes and I'm rambling a lot. But long story short, scope is like the domains of the variables that you declare. So if you declare a variable inside of this for loop, this variable is not going to be existent in this if, because this if is outside of this for loop, right? So in order for this if and this for loop to be able to access the variable, it's going to have to be declared outside, or it's going to be a little bit more, and we say global. And I'm going to give you a quick example, just a quick example. Int age, so I'm 32. So if I want the if test, as you see right here, to be able to access age is gonna have to be outside. So it, I don't know, age, I don't know, multiplied by 3. It's just some stupid thing. And then or h plus plus, whatever. There you go. And then so now now this for loop also has access to my age. So now I can do also age minus, right? So here I'm manipulating the age because it's declared here. But now if I only do this and I declare it only here, so the if statement will be able to you know, make use of this variable, but not the for loop because it's not within the same scope, right? That's why it's red. So yes, I know some of you guys are computer science majors and it's really easy for you guys, but I don't know, maybe some people that are not computer science majors are watching this also and just don't want to leave them out of the loop. Okay, so enough of rambling on, and that is why in equals 0 I made this global, or within the scope of this and this, that way we can manipulate it. I'm missing the return true. Okay, so what I'm doing here, okay, in J is just like an arbitrary letter, just a sign. You can call it K, X, P, poop, whatever you want. So for poop or J, we want to equal this to the number of items within the array that are initialized minus 1. Why minus 1? Because the number of items can be like 9, but as you know, in Java the arrays start from 0, right? So the 9th element is going to be on the 8th index value, and that's why we do the minus 1. So now we want to do, so this is going to be like the initial value, then as long as j is bigger or equal than I, we're going to run this for loop. Then every time we make a pass or iteration, yeah, we're going to subtract 1 from the initial value, which is whatever it is, right? And then what we want to do is at the storage, we want to basically my mistake. Okay, so basically we want, so we have the, say like the here, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the 3rd index value. It's the 4th element because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously it's the 4th element, but remember that the index starts from 0. So this is the 0th index, 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd index. So what we're doing is that the 3rd index plus 4 now would make it to the 4th index. We're just saying like, oh, make the 3rd index into like the 4th index. You know what I mean? Because this is like this value, and this value that you're getting is gonna be like, I don't know, for example this, just move it to the right. That's what you're doing. And now you're gonna be left basically with a hole right here, and that hole is where you're going to insert the value. So basically you're saying, okay, now because you reassigned all these indexes into new indexes, that's where you're going to insert it. Once you insert it, then you increase the number of values, you return true, you exit out the method. So now let's test this so you guys can see this at work. So first we created our objects, right? Created objects. Here we printed, and you can see how it looks. Here we grow the array twice as much. Okay, so then I'm going to do, this is going to be a little bit annoying, so data set sequential add new and as you can see, this is an integer, but since this is an array of doubles, this is going to be converted as a double, I believe. I'm not completely sure, so I'm just going to do this 12 times. No, actually I'm going to do it 13 times so you guys can see how it grows also by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, coño, point, what is it? Two, 2.1, 2.21, 2.31, 2.41. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think that's enough. That way I can show you how. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so now I'm going to print the data set on the 12th. So I want you to see what happens here. These are all going to be filled, and then after the fact that I add this new one, then you're going to see an array of 24 values, because it doesn't increase by 6, it increased twice as much. So for this, I'm actually going to make the screen really big. So now let's run it, and boom, just as I said. So here we just saw it before, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, so we add this, we added this, and as I told you, this was converted into a double. Boom. And this is also converted into a double. And here, as you can see, the capacity is 24, though the size is 13. And here, why did I count it bad? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I did count bad. Wow. Good counting skills, huh? Okay, let's rerun it again, because I really want to see you guys how it grows. So see, here, that's what I wanted. Here, everything is filled out, but still it's not growing because we're not adding more values to this, like, until this point, right? Obviously after this, we are. But until this point, we're not, therefore it's not growing. Now, after this, we run this code, and it's adding 2.31, which is right here, but it just grew just as twice as much. So here you can see the capacity went from 12 to 24, but the actual number of items, or the size, is 13, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So guys, this video is really long, but I just hope that someone watches it, or I don't know, just comment, please. So right now I'm doing Ionic. I'm gonna be doing Ionic in my new job. I am doing Python with Postgres. I made that reacting to Postgres. On the side, I'm doing Postgres and React with Node.js. I also want to do Angular and C# because that's also a very common stack where I'm about to work. So I also want to do that. What other projects do I have? I need to do my iOS, Instagram web, mobile app, and yeah. So let me know if you guys want to see me at least code this, like maybe not do a full tutorial, but it is like the login and log out and sign in user, I don't know. Guys, please let me know. I know that this is very long, but I rambled a lot, and obviously I guess that for learning purposes, it's gonna be better if you guys just have like a little bit more concise videos, but like I haven't done a video in a while, so hence the length. But please message if you don't like it, please put it. I don't care. I just need I want feedback. If you like it, put feedback. If you want to see some other type of videos, so I'm I'm a student. I'm a CS student. I'm a part-time worker, and I'm trying to do my own company at the same time. And I do have projects. I have my dad's project too. Yeah, even though it's family, like he's actually gonna use it for his like professional use. So I'm a little bit like pressured to do that. My cousin is doing like an e-commerce website. That is the Python and Postgres project. And yeah, so far like 2 serious projects. I've done like my dad's girlfriend's business website. So yeah, yeah. Please hit the like button if you like this video, leave a comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.